What's up, gearheads? Happy holidays to you and yours, and welcome to another edition of the Joel Riley Factor. This week we're tearing back into the 1969 Chevelle Project. We will be mocking up the passenger side rear quarter panel skin, the outer wheelhouse, and the trunk brace, test fitting everything to make sure it all jives with the rest of the car before doing the final welding. You don't want to miss any of the action on this or any of my other project builds, so be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also be sure to follow me on all my social media outlets, including Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Links to all my social media outlets are in the description. Without further ado, guys, let's get started. The Joel Riley Factor starts now. Alright guys, first and foremost, we are changing up the format of the channel a little bit this week. We had an unfortunate incident with my mobile microphone. Somebody who shall remain nameless decided that the cord on my mobile microphone tastes better than the toys around the house. But that's neither here nor there, so I'm just going to be narrating the video as we go. Now, after months of anticipation, I finally got a large shipment of parts in for the Chevelle, so I was able to dig into the garage and start going to work on some of the body panels, including the rear quarter panel skins. Now, I kind of started by just taking the quarter panel skin and marking the top of it just to see how it aligned with the original body panel. Then I went ahead and jacked the car up and put it up on jack stand so I could zip off the rear wheel just so I can get it out of my way. After I got the wheel off, I kind of started tearing into the original spa welds on the outer wheelhouse and the trunk brace. Sometimes you got to zip them out with a drill, sometimes you got to cut them out with a cutoff wheel, but usually you don't want to cut too much of the original metal off the car because you really want to see where your new panel is going to fit. The main rule of thumb is you don't cut the car to fit the new panel, you cut the new panel to fit the car. Now, this may seem a little time-consuming and a little monotonous, but you're going to see that there is a method to my madness, is taking your time on cutting this metal out, because you really want to make sure that this new quarter panel skin is going to fit well on the original sheet metal. And as far as installing the new outer wheelhouse, the easiest thing to do is to go on the inside and start drilling out all the spot welds. And most of these spot welds are located around the inner wheelhouse and the package tray, so you should be able to find them and zip them out with a drill. At this point, I also like to go ahead and cut out the door jamb part of the quarter panel skin because most likely I'm not going to use it, because usually the fitment on the new quarter panel skin doesn't fit as good as the original quarter panel, so it could mess up with the fitment of your door. So I like to cut just about an inch to the inside of the quarter panel skin, just so it provides a nice finish when you go to weld it all back up. Once you got a better idea how far you're going to cut the new quarter panel skin, you can actually cut a little bit bigger hole on the original quarter panel so you can get your drill in there and get the rest of your spot welds on your outer wheelhouse. Sometimes it is easier just to take the cutoff wheel and cut out the entire wheelhouse so you can get in there and get those spot welds drilled out a little bit easier as well. And at this point I had pretty good access to the original trunk brace, which was pretty rotted out, so I went ahead and cut out the rest of the spot welds and got it completely pulled out of there since I'm replacing the whole thing anyway. Now, as you can see, I got most of the outer wheelhouse completely cleaned out and the trunk brace, but in doing so I also found out that the trunk is almost completely rotted out. So before I weld up the new trunk brace, I'm going to have to replace that trunk panel because it doesn't make sense to weld up a brand new trunk brace to an old rotted out trunk panel. But at the very least, I figured I could mock up the new trunk brace, the new outer fender well, and the new quarter panel skin, at least clamp them in place to make sure that they're fitting okay and see how close to the original they look. After some maneuvering and some hammering, I was able to get everything pretty much mocked up to where I need it to be before I make my final cuts and my final welds. Most of the time these new production panels don't fit as well as these ones do, so I was pretty satisfied with the product. So that's unfortunately where I have to leave off for this week, guys. We are waiting on the new trunk pan to come in because, like I said, it doesn't make sense to weld up new metal to old metal, so we have to wait on that new trunk pan to come in before we can finish the rest of the quarter panel skins and the trunk brace. So a little bit of a short video this week, guys, but we're going to keep trucking on the 69 Chevelle Project. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. You guys don't want to miss any of the action on any of my other projects. Also hit me up on any of my other social media outlets. If you guys have a question about any of your projects you have going on at home, don't be afraid to hit me up on any of those social media outlets, and I just might feature your question on the show. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you next time.